DSP market is about 20 years old, but we're confident that now is the time to introduce a new DSP to the market. The cookie deprecation conversation from Google, which has been a wonderful 10 years of my life, has led also with the introduction of CTV, the RTB landscape, the actual core technological way that RTB works has changed. Streaming TV includes content signals that didn't get included in Programmatic 1.0. So these natural changes, cookies kind of not as important, whether they're gone or not, but they're not as important. They don't exist in streaming TV. So, and the way streaming TV is bought is much different. It's all PMP based. So PMP based, no cookies, and different architecture in the core auctions that happen in Programmatic. There's time for a new player. There's been some established players. They raised a lot of money, 2010 time. Some of them gained enormous market share. Some of them not as much, but there haven't been many new ones. So we've built one. The bidder was built in 2020 to 2022. It's a very modern piece of technology, and we're confident that there's a place for it in the market.
So as this new model DSP, what specific problems are you solving for?
So when you have Programmatic 1.0, as I call it, that's going to be display ads. You're going to have hundreds of different data companies that provide data that you could buy. So you're going to target thousands of websites. You're going to use data from hundreds of partners, and that's going to be your programmatic buy. That is not the case with streaming for the large advertisers. Large advertisers have a relationship with Disney for a very long time. This is not new. This is not a change. This is not some new partner. But they want to buy it programmatically. They want to control their budgets. They want to be able to creative swap when they can do it. And they would love to collect privacy safe, COPPA compliant, HIPAA compliant, as much data as they can. And so that combination of things has allowed us to kind of slip into the market where very low margin to buy just Disney and Spectrum and Fubo and Hulu and NBC. They want to set up campaigns where it's line is a targeted PMP. Maybe they get content signals, they could choose some genres, they could choose some sports, but the campaign is not hundreds of data partners with thousands of websites. It's 7 PMPs, Hulu, Spectrum, Fubo, Disney, and that's the way they want to manage the buys. And that's the way they should manage the buys. And the whole thing should cost, to run that infrastructure with all the cookies, it's very expensive. It's quoting myself, dangerous thing to do, but the old DSPs are like a battleship. There's entire departments of people running around the decks. CTV, new programmatic, you need a speedboat. I want something that connects me, gets me my buys. I want to control it. I want it to be nimble. And running a speedboat costs a tremendous amount less than running a battleship. And so the margins should be lower.
So with that lower cost of being the speedboat of DSPs, you're building a proprietary DSP without raising venture capital, right? The first DSPs were based on the largesse of VCs and that interest. How are you doing that?
I'm not going to go into the details of the margin, but it's generally very low. And to do that, you have to be in this for a long time. You have to be playing the long game. When you raise money, you have investors that want to see returns and they want to see a profitability and they want to see a road to profitability. I started Programmatic Mechanics, which is a trading desk, in 2013. And I built that by competing with Rocket Fuel and a couple of these companies that were like ad network companies. And I would come in and I would offer managed service and I would do the buying. And that went well. And what we did with some of the profits of that business, that's what we used to invest into Pontiac. So we've never taken outside capital. It's been bootstrapped from the start. The engineering team is now sizable. We have large Amazon bills because we're running a bidder, but it's been this low and slow growth trajectory where we win clients and we reinvest. We win clients and we reinvest the money. And that allows us to sell it at very low margin, continue to build differentiated tech, and get into conversations where new players would have trouble competing with the margins that we're able to put forth. And that's only because we built this and bootstrapped it from the beginning.
So Keith, it's kind of become a cliche that the rate of change is only accelerating. So it feels a little unfair, but I'm going to ask anyway, where do you see the programmatic landscape in 5 years?
It's a dangerous question. AI. So it's a hard question, hard to predict the future. Again, where I was as a CEO, I'm always trying to throw the ball to where the receiver is or skate to where the puck is going. A lot of great sports analogies. Listen, the way ads are bought and sold, the programmatic pipes, okay, that is what happens in programmatic. Let's break it down. A publisher ad becomes live. They then use a piece of technology to auction it to the highest bidder. It's the same technique of algorithms that the airlines use, okay? This is the way yield management works. If you see all the people want to buy something and you have some type of auction, that's going to be the best possible yield. There's no AI or magic that can replace that basic auction mechanism that's generations old, not in computers, but that's not changing. So the way the programmatic interaction happens, we built the DSP, the exchanges do the SSPs or the exchanges. That interaction is not going to change. AI, schmai, not going to change. So we're kind of the pipes. Andrew Casale from Index Exchange, I'm ripping from his line. We just want to be the pipes. And the pipes aren't going to change. The technology around it, how you can manifest the buys, measurement, how you can use AI and things to figure out if people are converting or outcomes. All of that will happen and it will be fascinating. The pipes aren't going to change. We think that the clearest, most transparent, easy to control, lowest cost set of pipes into the ecosystem can provide tools for buyers and for companies that are going to make a lot of the cool AI enabled stuff that will entice buyers.
So from looking far ahead to looking right now, what do you see as the biggest challenges and opportunities for Pontiac Intelligence?
So when you're going to try to make a very low margin tool, you have to appeal to very large buyers. We work with a tremendous variety of buyers. Again, I built the company from scratch, so I have very small buyers and people with modest budgets. Excuse me. But the fact is that if people aren't spending that much money, a lower margin DSP that lets you control 40 PMPs simultaneously and manage it with some ease isn't going to matter to them. They want to be on live sports. I want to be on the SEC. That's just like what they might say at dealership in Tuscaloosa. So that's okay. We find those people, but differentiating the tech we've built, that's a little bit tough. They're not going to see the value in saving 6 percentage points on the tech fee or 16 percentage points on the tech fee. The big buyers can see it. They like the fact that there's more working media. They like more control. They like that the relationship with Disney now doesn't have somebody taking 20% of the pie. They like the clarity and the ability to transact more closely with the publisher. So it's very hard to get into the rooms to talk to these people about the scale at which we can bring and the efficiency we can bring. It's working. It's taken some time. But again, our biggest thing, we're competing with Google, The Trade Desk, Amazon. These are large companies, and it's obviously a little bit difficult to explain to people that we've built a piece of tech from the ground up, millions of dollars invested, but it competes. And so that's the biggest challenge is getting serious consideration and getting into the room. But with each win and each word of mouth, it slowly starts to roll.